it's almost like you should subdivide contractors to be a designer contractor and a non-designer contractor. Because some of them, I know some of them and they're great builders, great, amazing builders. They just don't know how to work with interior designers, always like trying to do that things in their own way. And I think they're missing an important part. That's your portfolio at the end of the day. Okay, so welcome to the Builder's Blueprint podcast. And today we're having Katelyn Despain with the Makehouse studio. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I think Katelyn and I met maybe a year or two ago, probably more like 2 years ago. I invited her personally to one of our projects to come and see. I loved her designs, and I thought it's going to be a really cool collaboration down the line. We're both from North County. Our offices and businesses are, Katelyn, you're in Encinitas, we're in Solana Beach. And it just made a lot of sense for us to kind of join ventures. And since then, we are now working on two projects. One is in the making, and another one is coming up in, 2 weeks.
July, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very soon.
In 2 weeks. I'm having a blast, to be honest. I'm like, you're a very great individual, professional to work with, and you're definitely elevating the projects to that space that we want to be. So you're our guest for today.
Well, I am so glad that you invited me, and feeling is mutual about you. So
Great. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about not necessarily Soho, but generally the relationship between builders and interior designers. It's like a big topic. People are asking a lot about that, so we'll try and touch that too. So the Makehouse studio. Just take us wherever.
Okay. Yeah. So I decided to sort of venture into interior design probably coming up on a decade. So it was right after I had my first child, and I really wasn't loving my first career that I had, and sort of decided at that point that I wanted to try and follow a passion. And I've always loved interior design. It's been something that kind of always resonated with me, and I decided to take a leap of faith then. So here we are.
Yeah, and your first career was, I don't think I ever asked you about that.
I was actually in sales, in technology sales, which was, truthfully, every job has a little bit of sales in it, as you know, but not a whole lot of creativity in that one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's crazy how people are transitioning from, well, I'm impressed, but definitely got sales and everything. You as a business owner, you got to sell it not only to your clients, to yourself, I feel like.
For sure.
Like, I'm good at it. I know what I'm doing,
That is a constant reaffirmation.
Yeah. Go figure it out, Yeah.
For sure.
So what kind of, what made you make the leap at the time? Like interior design, and what made you go that way?
Yeah. So I always, like, even as a kid, I was kind of inspired by my mom a lot, but like we were always rearranging the furniture in the house. We didn't grow up in a real like high income environment. So we were just kind of making do with what we had. And I loved to sort of reimagine spaces and see, okay, if we move the couch over this way, will the room feel better? That sort of thing. And I think that that's a big part of what drives my design process too when I'm working with clients. Is like, how can this function better? Or how do you live? How can we reimagine this space and make it shine for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you're at first like playing with furniture, then moving, in a whole different way in your career. And then you said first kid and I'm making change. Feels like it's not only a career change, it's a life change. So it's like, I just want to have a different life.
It's so true. And I remember at the time asking a friend of mine, how do I decide to make this leap? Because it was going from a career that I was very successful in. I, had a steady paycheck and health insurance and all that stuff. And it would for me, I wanted to do it right, and I wanted to go to design school. And so that was going to be like another investment in my time and my energy, and while having a young child. And I remember this friend specifically asking me, well, if you were talking to your child, imagine your child 18 years from now, and she's asking you, what should I do? And I remember my answer would have been like, well, you need to trust your gut on this, so just take the leap, do something that feels a little bit scary at the time, and just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, at least you have like another career to fall back on.
I'm joking with Gil that she was asking me, we kind of had the same conversation about, if I had to advise my daughter to do something, I was like, go be a plumber.
Yeah, 100%. I know. I'm like,
go be the first female plumber.
Go be an electrician, a plumber, a framer.
Hey, little kid, go just, go after, chase your dreams. It's somewhere on plumbing.
Yes, definitely plumbing.
I know. You're just for it, but plumbing, there's no age for plumbing. Just go for it.
It's not the most glamorous job.
And he was like, Near, come on. That's not a fair conversation. Like, plumbing, Dad? Like, what is it? What is plumbing? Like, you're going to make a lot of money. I gotta tell you.
Just trust me, do it.
Trust me, go for plumbing. Yeah. That's funny. And then you make the leap, and you made the leap at a time. And I'm sure it was weird and scary, and you're having the same fears and hesitations as any new business owner, trying to start somewhere, right? Taking maybe smaller jobs, weird jobs. Tell me about that a little bit.
My gosh. If I think about like some of my first couple jobs, I think anybody starting out in this career is like, you are very much bootstrapping it. You're hustling a lot. I mean, I'm still hustling, right? But I think in the beginning I was taking things like, Cheryl, redesign your teens room, and I'm only doing like one piece of furniture. You like have to get really creative with the budget, and I think a lot of that was like people wanted to see if you were worth your salt. They wanted to see, okay, that's great that you went to design school. That's great that you think you have an eye. But so many of those initial projects, like you're learning as you go how to manage the client's budget, how to make the best outcome with what you have. And earlier on, a lot of it was, we weren't moving walls, we weren't, replacing tile, any of that. It was like, okay, what can I do with 19 throw pillows? That sort of thing.
That's a good.
So. Yeah. Come a long way since then.
Yeah. And it's actually, this is where we kind of go next, because when I look at our portfolio at the beginning, it looks funny to me, almost embarrassing. I feel like this cringe feeling in my body, but I'm not deleting it and I'm not removing it at this time, because that's like a reminder to the path, and that's a reminder to the story. But definitely weird projects. I had few really just not profitable, a lot of I didn't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. So it doesn't matter. It's in our past, and now you're growing. I mean, there's different ways and feel like it feels very differently to grow in different ways. But you're definitely social media. Your social media presence is impressive. I think we all love what you're doing here. And love the organic tone and the vibe and the bold edges when needed. So tell me about your social media journey. Like, how do you use social media, and what do you feel about social media in general? Because builders and interior designers are having a whole different marketing, agendas. I'm getting my clients sometimes from social media, but looks like you're very heavy on social media.
I do invest in social media. That was not the case in the beginning. I think, even just 9 or 10 years ago, social media was still very much like a portfolio, if you will, a lot of like in progress, is still very much part of my social media now, but it was less visually bold. I think the expectation on social media now is so different than it was 10 years ago. And a big part of what I believe the content should be, or what's kind of how I drive my social media content now is like, I think that the clients want to see the process. They want information on what does it look like to work with an interior designer, and what are the relationships, like who are they working with? And I love when we collaborate on social media posts and stuff like that, because I think it gives a client kind of an inside view of how we work best together and how early on in the process we start, which is also really, sorry, we can touch on that another time, but that's also a huge part of it for me.
For me, if you're asking me, that's the part that interests me the most. I mean,
Yeah.
we can talk about social media, we can talk about, content and stuff, but I think that the end user for our, platform, for the builder's blueprint is builders, interior designers, people that love the industry, not just a random person out there.
Yes.
If I can be even more specific, locally, because that's just our audience, and this is who follows that. Will be following that, and we can jump right on to the relationship between designers and builders, because I got a lot to say about that. About, let's start from client education. You walk into a room, you're walking into your first meeting with a client, and you really you want to build a team around you. Mm-hmm. What does it looks like, in your eyes to collaborate with the GC in general, from the pre-con all the way up, and how early do you feel like the conversations should start, and what kind of conversations? How do you manage that, like, in your world?
Well, I think that I remember when I was first starting out dreaming about this project in the future, where like from the get-go, the first planning meeting, it would be me, the general contractor, and the architect in the room. Like, that was the dream scenario, because at that point, and this is also what I tell clients that have not started yet, if they were, if I happen to get the person that reaches out to me and says, where do I start? I say it's at that meeting, because in the end, you are saving time and energy and money and stress by having everyone at the table. You can iron out any like building issues that might come up that I am not necessarily, that you're going to be more intimately involved in. I'm thinking about the functionality, the flow. How can we implement like the pretty design materials into the space? And the architect is, reminding us of structural things like that. So I think the earlier the better that we can all be sitting at the table. That's when like the end result of the project is like chef's kiss.
Yeah, I agree. And also budgets. I mean,
for sure.
I'm having so many stops, on the way, and saying, do we understand where we're heading with it? And I think you sensed it more at our new and seamless project, no names now, but I had to hold, everybody's horses for a few times to make sure that we're heading in the right direction. If not, let's just let's just value engineer that thing to make it work.
Right.
And it will be a combination of the finished product, which you provide, to the rough and labor that I provide on some of the finishes that, we are usually providing. So I'm with you. If it's not happening here early, what's going to happen is really you're getting into a big clusterfuck, and it's just not going to be. It's going to be somebody going to lose something.
I can't tell you how many times I've had that happen on projects where the client is coming to me and they're saying, well, we've worked with an architect. This architect recommended this builder, and then we get to the building, where we start designing, and the budget or the contractor has given them some sort of like loose allowance in a budget, and it's so inaccurate. And I think that clients have an expectation in their mind of like, this is how I want this to look. Here's my pretty Pinterest folder. Here's my Instagram collection. And you have to be able to have a designer, or if you're, especially if you're not design minded, to be able to like, oh, that's limestone. How much money do you have per square foot to spend? Like, oh, you want marble everywhere. Okay, so let's look at our budget and let's compare what our material costs are. And I think having those conversations earlier on and setting expectations is absolutely key.
Yeah. Just like you, when I'm getting a green client, if that's their first rodeo, or just they want to build, we need to build a team around us, then I think you notice that I'm bringing the team in as early as possible.
For sure.
And if that's not going to go, then I know what to expect. I'm not saying that I'm not taking it. I'm saying that I'm approaching to the project in a whole different way. Like if you're not interested in a designer coming up early, I'm going to budget for a lot of legwork that I had to do in a prime cost, and it's not going to be even near as good as Katelyn will do or Gil will do this work. And oftentimes, if it's a very complex one, I'm just going to say no. Now I'm saying more no's than yes to clients that are coming in and they're not interested in creating a team up front. Because at the end of the day, it will take me so much longer to figure out what's going on as we go versus like, let's just get it all now and then we're enjoying the process. So,
well, I think too, when you're working, if a new client's coming in and they, for me, just to kind of touch back on like the builder designer relationship, like what makes that work well and when you're building a team is communication, obviously, and I think mutual respect. And I think that when clients come in and they don't necessarily want to have a team where they're like, okay, I respect what you're doing, I respect what you're bringing to the table, then it's kind of like, well, where is distrust happening in the beginning, or where will there possibly be an opportunity where that's going to go south?
Yeah. And the respect is also, it's almost like you should subdivide contractors to be a designer contractor and a non-designer contractor. Because some of them, I know some of them and they're great builders, great, amazing builders. They just don't know how to work with interior designers, always like trying to do that things in their own way. And I think they're missing an important part. That's your portfolio at the end of the day, Mr. Chuck and Truck. I will highly recommend you to just flow with what she says right now, and especially if the client isn't on their side, on her side or his side, talking to both genders real quick.
Yeah.
And let it be, because it's going to be so much nicer. They're not going to cut edge. They'll try and remove soffits. It will be a sleeker, like nicer product. So go with that.
Well, we've all seen the memes or the reels on social media where the designer walks into the room and everybody runs away.
Yeah. I love working with designers. You know that.
Yes.
I'm staying in my lane. I just feel like it's so much better for everybody to just do that. Creating the team early. I'm very careful on when I'm bringing that thing to the table that we need more players, just to keep the energy controlled in terms of like the soft cost of things. But as early as I can, and as early as that I feel like we're lacking information, is the one that will bring everybody in. So,
I agree, and I think
I want to step in, but I don't want to step too far.
Exactly. And I take the same approach. If a client is asking me like, well, do you think this bid is high, or do you think what is this bid? Is it look good? I'm like, you know what? Like these things I'm here to advise you on materials and material costs and help you stay in this number. But like the building is on the builder, and I fully support going with a builder that is highly experienced doing, high-end design like your company.
Yeah.
And otherwise it's just not going to turn out the way you want it.
Yeah.
Truly.
So, I think we kind of talked about, the builder interior designer relationship, but we can talk about it forever. I think that's our lives.
Yes.
That's our lives, because our best friends, and could be, hopefully not, our worst enemy could be the other side. So for me, I think, talking about working with you, just there is something very chill around the energy. We're working with 2 different clients right now, and we somehow manage to keep them both happy as much as possible, and to get a beautiful project going with all the limitations we have, if it's a budget or time or just education that we need to do here and there. At the end of the day, I'm really happy with what's going on. I think we're working where we want to work. It's in Encinitas, and it will pay off.
100%.
At the end of the day, it will be beautifully shot, and we'll be enjoying great product. And I'm super happy that we were doing it. We met back then, but who knew that we were gonna run, couple mil in construction in less than 2 years. So
It's very cool.
that's very cool. And that's just the beginning. I know that.
I hope so.
Yeah. We're going to team up on many, many more. So talking about design, interior design and design trends, and where do you feel like things are going? What's going on in the design world? Like,
How much time do you have? No.
as much as you need.
I think for a long time now, well, designers always see things maybe like, 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 years before like the general public really decides that they want to invest in that. For a while, we've been seeing like really saturated colors in homes and everything down to like, bold tile choices and things like that. What I love in design, and I think it's kind of part of my overall aesthetic, is including a lot of natural materials wherever we can. I love limestone, give me a natural slab stone everywhere.
Did you just say quartz
No.
site? You said quartz site, right?
Quartz we're putting in the garage sink? No.
Call disconnected.
Yeah. For sure. No, I do think that if you invest in the materials you're putting in your home, you're going to love it for a long time.
It's going to be your life.
Full stop. Yes.
It's going to be your life. And you're right. So, and it's also, my next thing is like, what do you feel like timeless? This is timeless. Yeah. Came from the mountain or the tree.
100%.
It is not going anywhere.
I mean, you think about like using natural wood cabinetry, doing, any custom millwork in natural wood tones, or incorporating plaster or lime wash or limestone, quartzite. It's like all of those things came from the earth, and doesn't get more timeless than that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Even though I'm getting a little tired out of white oak.
I know.
Thin shaker with white oak flooring and a Taj Mahal. I love it still, but I'm also tired of seeing it. I mean,
I will say that Taj Mahal has definitely had its moment, and I think it's sunsetting.
It is sunsetting. Until
I love it, but it's when you go to the slab yards and they have like 2 full rows of all different Taj Mahals, you're like, okay, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah. That's our job, to try and convince people to do different things.
Yes.
I think that's your job, and my job is then to put it together.
Yes.
With no mistakes. I think my next question was like, what's aging beautifully, but it's all comes down to the natural materials as an answer. I think
it's true.
I really love now seeing, I'm a big fan of like exterior cladding, exterior in general, because I'm tired out of, the white oak, I'm a little tired out of the white stucco, and so I'm now seeing a lot in Solana Beach here. I'm doing my walks and talks if I have like big phone calls and stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of wood cladding, beautiful wood, gray, burnt wood.
I love
cladding.
the burnt wood. Yes.
It's so beautiful. I mean, we've done one in a powder room right now, and it turned out beautifully. And I'm really waiting for the right client with the right budget, unfortunately.
Yes.
To do a whole house.
Yes. Yeah. But I do think that that's something that I love to have those conversations early on, that like those little unique parts of like materials that you can infuse into the design, and even if it's just in a powder room, like that is going to be something where you walk into that room and you're like, wow,
it smells differently.
It's so cool.
It feels differently.
Yeah.
Like it smells like wood.
Yes.
Like that's super
really
cool. Yeah. So now we have this one project. It's early, but we have a project that I'm now working on, bidding on, just setting it all up in Del Mar. And they're on a cliffside on a sandstone, the area called Sandstone. It's in Del Mar. It's a 3.7 acres with an ocean view, and it's right on the cliff. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if I'm going to clad that thing with the same stone, I mean, I'll find an application for that stone. I'll chip stones from the actual ground, and I'll take it to my talk with whoever going to work on this project. It's very, very early at this point, but it's already in my brain. And then I'm going to use the same wood and I'm going to wrap that thing with that. It's almost going to be like part of the mountain.
Yeah.
And that's like, come on, guys.
That sounds so cool.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah, I'm
That sounds
dreaming about
amazing.
this project, but
Yeah.
they have not even signed an architecture right now. So if you're listening, sign.
If you need a designer.
If you need a designer, if you need a builder, sign. I'm working on your stuff right now. I don't think they're listening, but if they are. So what's next for you? I mean, where do you see yourself in and go? Go free.
That is a great
10
question.
years from now, you're standing here, we're talking again, we're like, let's have a coffee. And we were talking about that, but where you are then in 10 years.
I mean, I like to dream big, truly, but I've had a lot of these conversations lately because I'm at a point, I think, in my design business where we've hired 2 people now, which is such a great,
Really?
such a great place to be. One is full time with me, and then I have another part-time employee, so that's great.
I'm sure we'll chat at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be really helpful when and it was really out of necessity, right? And like we're managing so many more projects now. I absolutely needed a secondary junior designer to be helping me put all the FF&Es and, all the documentation that we have to put together that, again, just another one of the things I educate my clients on is you don't understand the amount of documentation that has to go into this project to make it run smoothly. So hired her, and really over the past couple of years, I've seen the clientele I've taken on kind of grow into a more luxury design space. And that's where I've always wanted to be. 9 years ago when I was daydreaming about being an interior designer, it was like, I would love to be able to, be in a space where I'm designing luxury homes. And here we are. And I do feel like it's only up from here. Mm-hmm. And I would love to, I think, 10 years from now, if I'm dreaming big, it's, a whole team of people. Maybe it's multiple locations. Maybe we're taking on, at least in the United States, like full projects. And maybe there's a retail line, Wow. I don't know.
Wow.
Dreaming big.
I love that for you. Yeah.
We're gonna put that out into the universe and let us float around for a while.
You do you. Work hard, come in every day and
But then there's some days where I'm like, I just want to take a day off. When's vacation?
That's life. You know what? You'll be able to take some off now with some help.
Yes,
that is
truly.
for sure. You do need somebody to pick up the phone when you're not around.
100%.
I think people did not understand the amount of time business owners are spending thinking. I mean, sometimes I'm just tired out of waking up at 4 and think about nothing sometimes. I mean, it is work, but I'm not going anywhere. You know what? It's not true. I'm going places because I'm kind of thinking about things, that helps me make decisions down the line. But even if I don't feel like that's productive, it is productive, but it is tiring. Mm-hmm. So even if you're literally working 6 or 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day, it doesn't matter. You're working about 12 or 14 hours.
It's true. I mean, there have been many days recently where it's like, I feel like I get the most done either before 8 a.m. I'll just get up early when my house is quiet and answer emails, or after, quote unquote working hours, because my phone isn't ringing off the hook. I'm not answering all these DMs, with my employees, and there's so much noise that I think happens in our industry every day that I didn't realize, I think, how much after hour stuff to really focus on stuff that you're working. This is more than a full-time job.
It is, and it's a never-ending story, because I feel like once you feel too comfortable, this is where I've seen great design. I'm talking about design. I'll talk about designers only, because I don't know a lot. Contractors in the same problem or space, but when they feel too comfortable, I'm not saying cocky in their sales. Yeah, I'm talking about comfortable in their business models, and they figured it out. This is where things are going south. You always need to be worried in a way, or keep on doing that, thought after work thinking practices or whatever it is, just with yourself. Like I never feel like I got it, I honed it. No, I'm always like chasing the next step. Hopefully that mentality will take me places. And if not, I will at least feel comfortable with, I've tried. I've tried as hard as possible. I've made less mistakes as possible, and I was very respectful, and hopefully that will work. But it is tiring. So take vacations, y'all.
It's so true. It's and that's been another part of the growing process for me, is just like when I am laying awake in the middle of the night thinking about projects or whatever, it's like, okay, what process is going to, how can we improve our processes? And so I'm not thinking about this at 3 a.m. And I think that that's part of growing the business. So much of this work is heavily process driven. And I think if you get comfortable or you just don't have a process, that's when things really go south.
We were, last week, we took 2 days off and we went to the AIA, to the architecture convention in San Diego.
Cool.
And it was so AI and technology driven. And I was like, yes, there is a lot of processes and you should keep up with technology and see what's out there. Because without even talking about it with your partners or peers or whatever, they sense it. They sense you're getting quicker, you're getting more productive, you're getting more efficient, cheaper, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But very cool. So, to wrap more, anything special that you're working on right now? Any particular projects you want to share with the audience?
Well, I mean, we are about to embark on a very exciting project in Encinitas. I'm really excited about it just because we did get to start so early on, and we had
the architecture in-house.
We had the architecture in-house, which was huge. It was so great to be able to work with your team and talk budgets early on, talk through, okay, how are we going to make this happen? And I love going into a project knowing, okay, we are all aligned. All the materials fit the budget. Let's do this. It's just so exciting.
And it's also going to be Brendan again.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yes. Brand new. That's going to be
brand new, and Brendan, the PM, going to be on this project. So you're already working with Brendan on the other project. So I thought it's going to be nice to keep him with you again.
Yeah. He's so great to work with.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's absolutely a magician.
Super communicative, and
just professional. He knows so
100%.
much. I mean, I'm asking him questions every day. He's my, at least, construction professional guru. So everything I got to ask, he's the guy.
For sure.
So he will be managing this one. So we'll keep it very organic. I'm excited too.
So we have that one, and I think I would love to do more of those. We've like I said, you've already touched on. We've done 2. This will be our second project, and having that relationship going into a project is just makes the job worth the time and energy you're putting into it. Truly.
Right. And you can test it with the client's feedback. She's like so happy with everything. And you know what? Even the nicest clients, you can go on their nerves if you're making too many mistakes or if it doesn't feel right. Yeah. Even the nicest clients will, show their teeth and be a little bit more aggressive. And she was just, I think she sensed the organic team. And
I think too she can sense that we're doing this to achieve her dream look. We're putting so much time and energy into what the final outcome that her and her husband perceive is this is the finished product, and we are going to make that happen. And she trusts us, and I love that. It's exciting.
So we're gonna wrap the conversation with something that we call build it or bag it.
Oh no.
Which is a really fun thing, and I can put some bets on your answers by your designs and the way I know you professionally, but I'll ask a few questions and you just go with your gut feeling. Open shelving or upper cabinets?
Ooh. I'm going to say build it for both of them. I think
really? Okay.
So here's my take on open shelving. It has to be minimal. I think it should be for decor type items, all of my clients need more storage. We live by the beach, and I think most of the time people have a lot of stuff.
And space is limited.
And space is limited. And I think I love an open shelf for display purposes, but I think I'll go cabinetry all the way.
Thank you. Me too. It is dusty, and I don't want to see everything.
It's 100%.
Let me see wood, if possible, and nice hardware.
I want to see some wood, and I also want to see like a pretty vase or a piece of art.
In the kitchen, keep it cabinets.
Yes.
Out of the kitchen, do whatever you want.
Yes.
I agree. No one want to see weird appliances or cups.
Oh gosh, no.
No. Matching stone backsplash or tile backsplash. See,
this one's hard. I mean, I think for me, I would love to do matching stone backsplash if the budget allows. But there is also a world of beautiful tile, and I love and appreciate a good handmade tile. And so I think it really goes back to what's the overall design aesthetic and what are we trying to achieve.
Right. Lime wash walls or traditional paint?
Lime wash all the way.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, well, okay, look. So again, let's reference the design aesthetic. What's the concept we're going
You're
with.
right. You're right.
But and the reason why...
Like, could you imagine like a full floor lime washed? I've done it once.
I mean, yes, it could be a neutral, and here's why I like lime wash and plaster and Tadalock and all that stuff, because it's like, it's giving a texture, right? And so it's another layer aesthetically that is bringing warmth. It's bringing, that nature into a home, and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I say yes.
It's actually also depends on the application. If it is like, I mean, I cannot be in spaces that will feel busy at all times. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Lime wash got to be really smooth, really elegant, really neutral, as you just said, and then we less mind it than if it's like a little rough, bumpy.
Right. I mean, like a Roman clay. Can I put that in there? Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. And option 3.
Option 3. Always option 3 with you all.
True designer fashion.
Yeah, it's always like you're so politically correct when things, but it's right. That's right. Sometimes tile is a better, better choice. Sometimes the stone. It just doesn't matter. The design matters.
Correct.
And the last one, I guess, trends and timeless design.
Ooh.
In between them.
Well, I think obviously timeless design. I think trends, in my opinion, circulate. The ones that lean timeless come back again. We see color palettes from the 70s. Those types of ideas always come back in a different, more modern form. And so I think things that feel trendy have a moment, but I think if you can lean into things that we see in our natural environment, then those are the things that you want to go with. If you don't want to change your flooring in 10 years.
just get a yellow chair.
Yeah.
Right?
Just get a yellow chair.
Yellow chair. It doesn't need to be yellow tile.
I mean, like, how long did the gray wood flooring last?
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah. You're right.
That was hard. That was a hard time.
We are here to tell the story. Well, thank you so much for our audience. If anyone wants to see your stuff, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me. My website is Makehouse Design makehousedesign.com. And my Instagram is Makehouse Design as well. So both of those locations you can find me. Also my Pinterest, lots of different ways you can find me, but either way, we will reach out to you if you reach out to us.
Absolutely. And whoever want to follow the process of the new project that we're working on, it's going to be posted, I guess, in both of our Instagrams, and we're going to tag each other, yada, yada. And then at the end of the day, it's going to be on our, website portfolios, but check it out. It is really interesting. It's a to the stud with a second story, with a lot of additions, very cool materials, a whole thing. right? And this is exactly where we want to be. So follow that. We're going to work on that together. It means that we got at least one more year talking heavily.
That's right.
Lucky us.
I hope you like me a year from now. No.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. I'm rarely making mistakes.
We make a good team.
Exactly. On my second attempt. We already worked together. It worked well. Then let's just copy paste that. Thank you all and have a good weekend.
Thanks so much, Nir.